Hi guys! Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today, we will learn about the escalating tension between Jason Morgan and his twin brother Drew Quartermaine, where simmering resentments could erupt into a full-blown confrontation that reshapes lives in Port Charles. Jason's mounting fury and shocking revelations. In the heart of Port Charles, Jason Morgan finds himself on the brink of an explosive outburst, his long-held frustrations with Drew Quartermaine intensifying by the day. Sources close to the storyline suggest that Jason is piecing together a mosaic of deceptions orchestrated by Drew, each one more insidious than the last. Imagine Jason, the stoic enforcer with a code of loyalty, and covering layers of betrayal that strike at the core of his family. For instance, whispers indicate Jason stumbles upon evidence of Drew's underhanded tactics, including a clandestine payment to a nurse in Germany who fabricated a tale about Michael Corinthos turning his back on Willow during a critical moment. This isn't just a minor fib, it's a calculated move that undermined Michael's marriage and sowed seeds of doubt in Willow's heart. Adding to the intrigue, Jason might even recall a similar past incident where Drew manipulated records during his time as a Navy SEAL, drawing parallels to his current web of lies. As Jason processes this, his rage builds like a storm on the horizon, promising a reckoning that could alter alliances forever. Fans are abuzz, speculating if this discovery will push Jason to confront Drew in a high-stakes scene at the Quartermaine mansion, where old grudges resurface amid flying accusations. Drew's web of manipulation and hidden affairs. Delving deeper into Drew's machinations, it's clear his schemes extend far beyond a single lie, creating a tangled network that ensnares multiple lives. Picture Drew, ever the charming opportunist, pulling strings to maintain his grip on power and relationships. Beyond the nurse's fabricated story about Michael's supposed rejection of Willow in Germany, which was designed to paint Drew as Willow's savior, there are hints of other ploys, like subtly influencing business deals at Aurora Media to sideline rivals. Inventing a fresh layer, spoilers tease that Drew may have anonymously tipped off authorities about a minor infraction at Michael's company, all to distract from his own misdeeds. But the real bombshell is Drew's steamy affair with Nina Reeves, which unfolded even as he pursued Willow, overlapping timelines that had a scandalous twist. This isn't mere gossip, it's a secret Jason could wield like a weapon. To expand on this, imagine Drew's internal conflict, torn between his genuine feelings for Willow and the thrill of his forbidden romance with Nina, perhaps confiding in a trusted ally like Sam McCall about his regrets. The affair's details might include clandestine meetings at a secluded cabin outside Port Charles, where Drew and Nina plotted to keep their liaison hidden while navigating their complicated ties to the Corinthos family. Jason's awareness of this could stem from an overheard conversation or a misplaced document, fueling his determination to protect those he cares about from Drew's toxic influence. The ultimatum, leverage, and high-stakes bargaining. With these revelations in hand, Jason's strategy takes shape as a daring ultimatum aimed at banishing Drew from Port Charles and Willow's life. Envision a tense showdown in a dimly lit warehouse, reminiscent of Jason's mobster days, where he corners Drew with irrefutable proof. The leverage. That explosive confession about the fling with Nina, a detail Jason might dangle like a sword over Drew's head. In a creative twist, Jason could propose a deal. Drew leaves town quietly, perhaps relocating to a fictional overseas branch of ELQ Industries in exchange for Jason's silence. But if Drew refuses, Jason vows to expose everything, shattering Willow's illusions and potentially destroying Nina's fragile bond with her daughter. Adding depth, Jason's motivations are deeply rooted in his unwavering loyalty to Carly Spencer and Michael Corinthos, whom he views as family. He might even reflect on past betrayals, like the time Drew impersonated him during his presumed death, amplifying his sense of justice. This gambit isn't without risks. Jason weighs the moral dilemma of withholding the truth to shield Willow from heartbreak, or unleashing it to ensure Drew's permanent exit. Speculation runs wild about whether Jason would involve allies like Sonny Corinthos for backup, turning the confrontation into a multi-character spectacle. Drew's desperation and potential backlash. Drew, however, isn't one to back down easily, his desperation to hold onto Willow making him an unpredictable force. Despite his engagement fraying at the edge, compounded by schemes like blackmailing Dr. Portia Robinson over a medical ethics issue, Drew clings to his facade. Inventing a new element. Perhaps Drew has been secretly funding a charity in Willow's name to win her favor, a move that backfires when Jason uncovers the ulterior motives. If Jason's threat lands, Drew might opt for a graceful exit, fitting a tale of needing space for personal growth, all while whispering doubts in Willow's ear about Jason's reliability. Alternatively, his defiance could escalate, prompting him to counter with his own dirt on Jason's past crimes, risking a mutual destruction. The wild card here is Willow's reaction. Blindsided by the betrayal, she might sever ties with Drew, seeking solace in Michael's arms, or, in a shocking turn, defend him out of lingering affection. To elaborate, Willow's history of health struggles and family secrets could make her vulnerable, leading to a heartfelt scene where she confronts Drew at the hospital, demanding answers. This dynamic adds layers of emotional turmoil, questioning if Drew's manipulations will finally catch up to him or if he'll maneuver his way out once more. Impacts on family dynamics and broader repercussions. Jason's pivotal choice to hold the secret or spill it stands to redefine the Corinthos and Quartermaine family landscapes. If he keeps quiet, it might preserve Willow's peace but strain his relationship with Carly, who despises secrets after her own history of deceptions. Exposing the affair could liberate Willow from Drew's grasp but ignite chaos, especially with Nina's involvement complicating her maternal ties. Picture Nina, caught in the crossfire, facing a dilemma: confess to Willow to salvage their relationship, or fabricate a cover story that implicates Jason as the villain. Adding inventive details, this could lead to a family therapy session gone awry, where buried resentments erupt, drawing in characters like Christina Corinthos Davis for added drama. Michael's role intensifies too. As Willow's husband, his forgiveness or fury could tip the scales, perhaps leading to a custody battle over their children if trust erodes. Broader repercussions might include ripple effects at General Hospital, where staff like Portia grapple with the fallout of Drew's blackmail, potentially exposing other hidden alliances. Next, we will learn about the ongoing concerns surrounding Gio's character development, where fans are voicing frustration over the lack of substantial writing that's leaving this young talent in a tricky spot. Gio's stagnant storyline and the call for better development. In the bustling world of Port Charles, young Gio Palmieri is finding himself at a crossroads, but not the kind that propels a character forward, one that's mired in underdeveloped plots and dialogue that fail to showcase his potential. Insiders whisper that the show's scribes have yet to provide Gio with the meaty scenes and emotional depth needed to evolve beyond his current portrayal, which often paints him as dismissive of adoption while fiercely aligning with figures like Sonny Corinthos and the memory of Lulu Spencer. This one-dimensional approach is turning heads for all the wrong reasons, making Gio appear more antagonistic than relatable, as if he's perpetually stuck in a loop of resentment without resolution. To add a fresh layer, imagine Gio stumbling upon an old family photo album in the Trullo attic, triggering flashbacks to his childhood that highlight the lies he's uncovered about his parentage. But the writers haven't capitalized on this to humanize him. Fans are noticing how this static writing contrasts with Gio's real-life growth as an actor. Who's under contract and showing signs of shedding his initial on-screen awkwardness through subtle improvements in delivery and presence. Without urgent changes, there's a risk Gio could fade into the background, much like forgotten plotlines of the past, leaving viewers yearning for a breakthrough moment that defines his place in the General Hospital universe. Fan frustrations and online buzz. The digital soap opera community is abuzz with opinions on Gio's predicament, turning forums and social media into hotbeds of debate where supporters and critics alike dissect his every scene. One enthusiastic viewer recently posted, "Gio's slowly emerging from that newbie shell, nailing his lines with more confidence. Remember, he's locked in with a GH contract." So let's hope the writers step up. This sentiment echoes a growing chorus calling for sustainable character arcs that prevent talented performers from jumping ship to other projects. Inventing a new twist to the conversation, some fans speculate that Gio's contract includes clauses for potential spin-offs, like a web series exploring his musical talents as a violinist. But only if his main storyline gains traction. Another sharp critique surfaced online: "I'm rooting for Gio, but we need a pivotal shift pronto." Picture him getting entangled in a high-drama plot with villain Jagger Cates, formerly known as John, where he's targeted for leverage, maybe a dramatic injury or abduction that forces him to confront his inner turmoil and drop the perpetual skull. These comments highlight a collective plea for the writing team to inject vitality into Gio's role, transforming him from a sidelined figure into a central player whose emotions resonate authentically with the audience. Unpacking Gio's anger and its roots. At the heart of the criticism lies a deeper misunderstanding of Gio's simmering anger, which stems from a lifetime of deception that has left him reeling and questioning his very identity. It's not just about being anti-adoption, it's the raw pain of discovering that his existence was built on falsehoods, with the truth holders perhaps including adoptive family members sharing his home without a whisper of honesty. Rephrasing this creatively, envision Gio as a ship adrift in a storm of betrayal. His pro-Sonny stance a desperate anchor to something familiar amid the chaos of learning about his biological ties to Lulu. A fan insightfully noted, "I don't get why his attitude is so misconstrued. Feeling abandoned after your whole world flips upside down doesn't erase empathy for a teen mom's tough choices. It just adds layers of hurt." To expand with invented elements, perhaps Gio overhears a conversation at the Quartermaine estate between Brooklyn and Olivia, revealing more hidden family secrets like a long-lost letter from Lulu explaining her decisions, which could serve as a catalyst for Gio to process his emotions more constructively. This backstory enriches his character, showing he's not incapable of compassion but rather struggling to reconcile his heartbreak with the perspectives of those who faced and planned parenthood in their youth, potentially leading to heartfelt dialogues that bridge his divides. Potential plot twists to salvage Gio's arc. Looking ahead, spoilers tease that Gio's trajectory could take a thrilling turn if the writers heed the calls for help, introducing elements that challenge his current unlikable vibe and foster growth. For instance, a kidnapping scenario involving the notorious diamond smuggler Sidwell could thrust Gio into peril, forcing him to rely on unlikely allies like Trina Robinson or Jocelyn Jacks. And in the process, amnesia from a head injury might temporarily erase his bitterness, allowing for a fresh start. Adding inventive details, this plot could unfold during a charity concert at the Metro Court, where Gio's violin performance is interrupted by masked intruders, leading to a chase through the streets of Port Charles that exposes hidden strengths in his character. Such a development would not only heighten the drama but also provide opportunities for Gio to bond with adoptive figures, perhaps even reconciling with his feelings toward adoption through interactions with characters who've navigated similar paths, like Christina Corinthos Davis and her surrogacy experiences. Critics argue this turning point is essential to prevent Gio from becoming a casualty of poor scripting, ensuring his contract renewal feels earned rather than obligatory. The broader implications for General Hospital. The discourse around Gio underscores larger issues in soap opera storytelling, where character development can make or break viewer investment, especially for newcomers like him who bring fresh energy to the canvas. If unaddressed, Gio's stagnant arc risks alienating fans who've invested in his potential, much like past characters who vanished due to underwhelming plots. On a positive note, inventive expansions could see Gio evolving into a multifaceted anti-hero, perhaps exploring his musical gifts in a storyline that intersects with the Casadini family's intrigues, adding cultural depth through Italian heritage nods tied to the Cerullos. Another fan perspective shared, Gio's anger isn't anti-anything, it's a kid processing a massively give him scenes that show his heart. Like volunteering at the hospital to understand teen mom's struggles, this could culminate in emotional confrontations that humanize him, strengthening bonds with on-screen family and boosting his likability. Next, we will learn about Nina Reeves' hidden bombshell that might be the key to dismantling Drew Quartermaine's vicious grip on Dr. Portia Robinson, though unleashing it could shatter her world in unimaginable ways. Nina's explosive secret and its power over Drew. Deep in the shadows of Port Charles' intricate web of alliances and vendettas, Nina Reeves clutches a scandalous truth from her past that has the potential to derail Drew Quartermaine's aggressive blackmail campaign against the dedicated Dr. Portia Robinson. This isn't just any secret, it's the steamy, clandestine affair Nina shared with Drew. A passionate entanglement that unfolded in hushed hotel rooms and late-night rendezvous before he ever proposed to Willow Corinthos. To invent a vivid new detail, picture Nina discovering an old, forgotten love note from Drew tucked away in her crimson office drawer. A remnant that now serves as tangible proof of their indiscretion, stoking her internal debate over whether to use it. This revelation could serve as the ultimate weapon to halt Drew's threats, which stem from Portia's covert manipulation of Heather Weber's blood tests to alter cobalt poisoning results. A desperate act to protect her daughter Trina. By threatening exposure, Drew keeps Portia compliant, but Nina's knowledge of their fling gives her the upper hand to demand he cease his harassment. Yet, the stakes are sky-high, revealing this could implode Nina's hard-won reconciliation with Willow, who's still reeling from recent custody battles over her kids, Wiley and Amelia, potentially driving a permanent wedge between mother and daughter. The collaborative plot and Drew's retaliation. Rewinding to the origins of this high-stakes drama, Nina and Portia's alliance took a bold turn when they enlisted the enigmatic Jacinda, a shadowy operative with ties to underground networks, to orchestrate a setup framing Drew for awareness of illegal ketamine distribution in a shady business deal. This calculated scheme was meant to topple Drew's rising influence, perhaps even exposing his hidden agendas at Aurora Media, but it backfired spectacularly when Drew turned the tables, zeroing in on Portia's ethical lapse with Heather's tests as his blackmail fodder. Adding an inventive element, imagine Jacinda double-crossing them by leaving behind digital breadcrumbs like encrypted emails that Drew hacked into, giving him the ammunition to strike back while curiously sparing Nina from direct fallout. Why the leniency toward Nina? Speculation points to Drew's lingering fear that she might broadcast their affair far and wide, a move that could tarnish his polished image as Willow's fiancé and a pillar of the Quartermaine empire. As tensions simmer, Nina grapples with the temptation to step in, envisioning a dramatic confrontation at the Metro Court rooftop where she lays out the evidence, forcing Drew to weigh his vendetta against the risk of public humiliation. Curtis's awareness and reluctant silence. Complicating the narrative further is Curtis Ashford, Portia's devoted husband, who harbors the same incendiary knowledge of Nina and Drew's romantic history yet has chosen a path of inaction, leaving fans puzzled over his motives. Curtis, with his background as a private investigator, likely uncovered the affair through discreet surveillance footage from a club they frequented. But instead of wielding it like a shield for his wife, he's held back, perhaps to safeguard the fragile peace in his marriage or to avoid igniting a larger firestorm involving Drew's political ambitions. In a creative expansion, Curtis might confide in his ex, Jordan Ashford, during a tense coffee meetup at Kelly's Diner, expressing his dilemma. Using the secret could free Portia but drag Nina into the fray, straining his long-standing friendship with her that's rooted in shared business ventures at the Savoy. His hesitation shines through in subtle, wary glances exchanged with Jordan, hinting at deeper firsts like Drew retaliating by dredging up Curtis's own past scandals, such as his involvement in underground fights. This inaction raises questions. Is Curtis truly prioritizing Nina's well-being over Portia's freedom, or is there a strategic play at work, waiting for the perfect moment to strike without collateral damage? The courage to confront and looming risks. As the pressure mounts, Nina stands at a pivotal crossroads, pondering whether to muster the bravery to unmask Drew's affair and compel him to relinquish his hold on Portia, all while bracing for the emotional tsunami that could follow. Envision a heart-pounding scene in Drew's office at ELQ, where Nina, armed with printed emails from their passionate exchanges, issues an ultimatum: back off Portia, or face the wrath of Willow learning the truth. But the peril is palpable. Willow, already vulnerable after losing temporary custody amid family feuds, might view this as the ultimate betrayal from her mother, fracturing their budding relationship beyond repair and isolating Nina once more. To add fresh intrigue, Nina could seek counsel from Ava Jerome, her sometime ally and rival, who advises leveraging the secret anonymously through a leaked story to Crimson magazine, minimizing direct backlash. Will Nina's resolve hold firm, transforming her into an unlikely hero who forces Drew's retreat? Or will her dread of alienating Willow doom Portia to continued torment under his thumb? Family dynamics and potential fallout. The ripple effects of Nina's decision could reshape the intricate family ties weaving through Port Charles, with Curtis's potential intervention adding another layer of complexity to the mix. If Curtis finally steps up, deploying the affair secret to liberate Portia, it might inadvertently complicate Nina's delicate efforts to maintain harmony with Willow, perhaps sparking accusations of conspiracy that pull everyone into a courtroom drama over blackmail charges. Inventing a new scenario, this could lead to a family summit at the Ashford home, where Trina overhears the revelations and confronts Drew herself, defending her mother's actions and exposing generational divides. On the flip side, sustained silence from both Nina and Curtis preserves the uneasy status quo, allowing Drew's schemes to fester unchecked, but at the cost of Portia's professional integrity and personal peace. Should the truth erupt, Drew's engagement to Willow might shatter like glass, leaving her adrift in a sea of deception without a lifeline. As feelings of maternal betrayal compound her grief, potentially pushing her toward unexpected alliances, like leaning on Michael for support. Fan excitement and divided opinions. The online world is electric, with General Hospital devotees passionately debating Nina's predicament, with forums lighting up in a frenzy of support and skepticism. Enthusiastic posts proclaim, "Come on, Nina, drop the bomb and take Drew down for good. Portia needs a break," while cautious voices warn, "If Nina spills, Willow's heart will break. And forgiveness might be impossible. Think of the long-term drama." These reactions underscore the high stakes, with some fans theorizing wild twists, like Drew preemptively confessing to Willow in a bid for sympathy, only to have it backfire spectacularly. Adding an engaging element, our channel's polls show a split vote on whether Curtis will break his silence first, fueling lively discussions in the comments. The ultimate question: and what's ahead? In the end, the burning query lingers: is Nina truly the sole savior capable of compelling Drew to abandon his pursuit of Curtis and Portia, or will her terror of severing ties with Willow, coupled with Curtis's puzzling restraint, prolong the blackmail's shadow? As alliances shift and secrets teeter on the edge of exposure, the residents of Port Charles brace for upheaval that could redefine loyalties forever. Don't miss a beaten into ABC's General Hospital every day to witness if Nina's secret becomes the catalyst for justice or the spark of utter chaos. Share your thoughts below. Would you risk it all like Nina might?